Prison reform legislation gets the support of two former Maryland governors. One plan estimates that the governor's final say in whether someone sentenced to life in prison should be paroled. Political reporter Pat Warren reports the governor who put that policy into effect is now against it.
Former governors Paris Glendening and Bob Ehrlich are a bipartisan team for prison reform.
And now I'm asked to run across the country and talk about various elements within criminal justice reform, different initiatives.
The Republican and the Democrat support a bill to undo what Glendening did 25 years ago when he put the power to determine parole for those sentenced to life in the hands of the governor, regardless of eligibility.
We enunciated a policy when I was in office that said life in prison meant life in prison. No parole, no exceptions.
At the time, Glendening says it seemed the right thing to do.
We've now seen 25 years of what that actually means.
Now, 25 years later, Glendening says Maryland is becoming a system full of elderly inmates. It is expensive to maintain and offers no incentive for rehabilitation. Following the rules, he says, doesn't matter because there's no parole.
I must say in all candor that I was wrong.
A bill under consideration would repeal provisions that inmates serving life may be paroled only with the governor's approval and establish parole commissioners to provide recommendations, prescribe parole, and set conditions for supervision.
If I were in office right now, I would work with the legislature to change that process, including removing the governor from that.
Governor Ehrlich was widely praised for his corrections policies in office.
What's really interesting is with regard to some of the things we did now over 10 years ago, a lot of governors, a lot of state legislatures are now engaged in this great purple issue of our time.
Maryland is one of only 4 states that require the governor to approve parole for people sentenced to life. I'm Pat Warren reporting for WJZ. Now back to you.
And the General Assembly is also considering tough on crime legislation.